Hello, my dear listener. Welcome back to Study with Daisy, your quiet space to learn English slowly and gently take care of your heart. Today, we begin something very special, a 1-hour journey called Learn to Love Yourself More Than Anyone Else. It's not just an English lesson. It's a little journey of healing and reflection. So, before we start, take a deep breath in and slowly breathe out. That's right. Just relax. You're safe here, and I'm so happy you're spending this time with me today. Herb. You know, for many years, I thought loving myself was selfish. I always wanted to please others, to be kind, helpful, polite, even when I felt tired or sad or invisible inside. But one day I realized something. No matter how much love others give you, if you don't love yourself, you'll still feel empty. Because the relationship you have with yourself is the foundation for everything else in life. When you love yourself, you stop chasing people who don't see your worth. You stop trying to be perfect all the time. You begin to listen to your body, your heart, and your dreams. Self-love doesn't mean you ignore your mistakes. It means you forgive yourself for them. It means you try again, gently, patiently, every single day. So right now, place your hand softly on your heart. Feel the warmth there. That's you, still here, still learning, still growing. Now whisper to yourself, I love you. I'm proud of you. I'll never give up on you. Because this is where self-love begins, not in doing more or being perfect, but in accepting yourself, right here, right now. And through this series, I hope you'll slowly learn to love yourself more deeply than ever before. Thank you for listening to this first part of our journey. In the next episode, we'll talk about why we often forget to love ourselves and how to gently return home to who we really are. This is Daisy, and you've been listening to Study with Daisy. Take care, my friend, and remember, you are enough. Flower. It was a quiet Sunday morning. The sunlight came through my window, warm and soft. I sat with a cup of tea, thinking about how often we forget to love ourselves. You know, it's strange. We spend so much time caring about other people, our family, our friends, our work, but we rarely stop to ask, do I treat myself with that same kindness? I used to believe that loving myself was selfish. If I rested, I felt guilty. If I said no to someone, I worried they would think I didn't care. So I tried to be perfect, always smiling, always saying yes, even when I was exhausted inside. But one day, I realized something simple. I forgot how to love myself because I was always trying to be someone else. When we grow up, We learn that being good means making others happy. We learn that love has to be earned. So we keep trying to please, to fix, to prove. And slowly we forget the sound of our own heart. Sometimes I sit alone in silence, and I hear that quiet voice inside me whisper, "Hey, I'm still here. I just need you to notice me again." That's the moment I remember. Self-love isn't about saying I'm perfect. It's about saying I'm human. It's about holding your own hand when no one else can see your pain. Maybe you've also been there, feeling like you're never enough, comparing your life to everyone else's. But my friend, you are not behind. You are not broken. You are just learning to come home to yourself again. So today, take a moment for you. Drink some water. Go for a quiet walk. Look in the mirror and say, "I'm still learning." And that's okay. Because the truth is, the love you've been searching for has been waiting inside you all along. And as the sun moved higher in the sky, I smiled, not because my life was perfect, but because I finally felt a little peace inside. Last night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the past, the moments that still hurt, the words that still echo in my mind. Sometimes we don't realize how much we carry with us. Old memories, unkind words, the feeling of not being enough. I once read that our hearts are like books, each page filled with stories, some beautiful and some painful. But the truth is, we can't start a new chapter if we keep rereading the old ones. When I was younger, someone I loved told me I wasn't good enough. Those words stayed with me for years. Even when people praised me, even when I succeeded, a quiet voice inside was whisper, "Maybe they're wrong. Maybe you're still not enough." It took me a long time to understand. That voice wasn't the truth. It was just a wound that never healed. We all have those wounds, don't we? From the people who left, from the ones who didn't understand us, or from the mistakes we made when we didn't know better. And sometimes we try to hide them. We smile, we say, "I'm fine," but inside, we're still bleeding quietly. One evening, I stood in front of the mirror and said out loud, "I forgive you." At first, it felt strange, but I kept saying it again and again. I forgive you for trying so hard. I forgive you for the times you didn't know what to do. I forgive you for being human. That night, something changed. Not everything healed right away, but the pain became softer. The memories lost their sharp edges. And for the first time in a long time, I could breathe a little easier. Healing isn't about forgetting. It's about learning to hold your pain with kindness. It's about saying, yes, this happened, but it doesn't define who I am anymore. Now, when I think about my past, I don't feel angry or ashamed. I just feel grateful. Because those wounds, they taught me how to love myself better. They showed me how strong I really am. And maybe they brought me here to share this moment with you. So, tonight, before you sleep, place your hand on your heart and whisper, I'm healing, I'm learning, and I'm proud of how far I've come. Because even if the scars remain, they no longer hurt the same way. They are proof that you survived. This morning, I walked to a small cafe near my house. The air was cool, the sky soft and pale. As I sat by the window, I looked around. Everyone seemed so busy, so confident, so happy. And suddenly, I felt small. I looked at a girl with perfect hair, a man laughing loudly with his friends, a couple holding hands, and my mind began to whisper, why don't I have that? Why am I not like them? It happens so quickly, that quiet voice of comparison. It sneaks in when you least expect it. For a long time, I believed everyone else was doing better than me. They seemed more beautiful, more successful, more loved. I would scroll through my phone at night, watching perfect pictures, and feel something heavy in my chest. But the truth is, we only see a small piece of someone's story, the part they choose to show. We don't see the sleepless nights, the quiet tears, the self-doubt they hide behind a smile. One day, I asked myself, if I stop comparing my journey to theirs, what would my life feel like? That question changed everything because when I looked closer, I realized I already had things I once dreamed of: a small, cozy home, a few people who truly care, moments of peace that money can't buy. I just couldn't see them because I was too busy looking at what others had. Comparison steals joy. It tells you that who you are is not enough. But when you let go of comparison, you make space. Space for gratitude. Space for peace. Space to truly see your own growth. Now, when I catch myself comparing, I pause, I breathe, and I whisper, I'm on my own path. No one else has lived my life. No one else has felt my pain or dreamed my dreams. So why should I measure myself by someone else's story? As I finished my tea, I looked out the window again, and this time, instead of envy, I felt something different. I felt calm. Everyone was just living, and so was I, in my own quiet, beautiful way. So, my friend, next time you feel like you're falling behind, remember, you're not late. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Keep walking at your own pace. Your time will come, and it will be yours, not a copy of someone else's. Sometimes we think that self-love has to be something big, like a life-changing moment, a perfect morning routine, or a new lifestyle. But the truth is, self-love often hides in small, gentle moments, tiny things that whisper, "Hey, I care about you." When I started learning how to love myself, I didn't know where to begin. So I decided to start small, one act at a time. And today, I want to share with you some small ways you can practice self-love every day. 1. Speak gently to yourself. When you make a mistake, instead of saying, "I'm so stupid," try saying, "It's okay, I'm learning." It may sound simple, but words have power. The way you speak to yourself shapes the way you see yourself. 2. Take slow moments. Every day, find at least 5 minutes just for you. No phone, no noise. Maybe it's a quiet cup of tea, a walk under the morning sun, or just sitting by the window and breathing. Those small pauses remind your mind and heart that you are alive, and that's something beautiful. 3. Write to yourself. Journaling is one of my favorite ways to connect with myself. You don't need to write something deep or perfect. Just start with, "Today I feel," and let your thoughts flow. Writing helps you see yourself clearly, your dreams, your pain, your growth. 4. Say no when you need to. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you an honest one. You're allowed to protect your time and energy. You don't have to please everyone. Remember, boundaries are love. They are a way of saying, "I respect myself." 5. Celebrate small wins. Did you wake up early today? Did you drink more water? Did you show kindness to someone or to yourself? Celebrate that. You don't have to wait for something big to feel proud. Even tiny progress deserves love. 6. Surround yourself with gentle energy. This could be music that calms your heart, a friend who listens, or a space that feels safe. Your environment affects how you feel about yourself. So fill it with things and people that remind you of your worth. 7. Forgive yourself. This one might be the hardest, but forgiving yourself for the things you didn't know back then, that's how healing begins. You can't grow if you keep punishing yourself for old mistakes. You did your best with what you knew. And that's enough. Loving yourself doesn't mean being perfect. It means showing up for yourself again and again, even when things feel messy or hard. So start today. Choose one small act. Maybe drink water slowly and say, "This is me taking care of myself." Or smile at your reflection and whisper, "I'm proud of you." Those tiny loving moments will grow. And one day, you'll look back and realize you've built a life full of quiet love and peace. When we think of relationships, we often think about other people, our family, friends, or someone we love. But the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. It's the relationship that lasts from the moment you take your first breath until your very last. It's the one that shapes how you experience love, how you handle pain, and how you see the world. So, how do you build that relationship? How do you truly become your own best friend? Let's take this slow, one thought at a time. Get to know yourself. We often spend so much time learning about others, their likes, dislikes, dreams, and fears, but we rarely take time to ask those same questions to ourselves. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? What drains my energy? What do I truly need right now? Getting to know yourself is like meeting someone new. It takes curiosity, patience, and honesty. You might be surprised by how much beauty and strength live inside you, waiting to be seen. Keep your promises to yourself. Think about it. When someone breaks a promise to you again and again, you start to lose trust, right? The same thing happens inside your heart when you keep breaking promises to yourself. If you say, "I'll rest early tonight," then try your best to do it. If you promise to take care of your health or your dreams, treat those promises as sacred. Because every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust. And that trust becomes the foundation of self-respect. Support yourself when no one else does. There will be days when no one claps for you. No one says, "You're doing great." And that's okay. On those days, be your own cheerleader. Look in the mirror and say, "I'm proud of you for showing up." Even if you didn't do everything perfectly, even if you're still learning, your own voice can be the soft hand that lifts you up. Learn to enjoy your own company. Spending time alone doesn't mean you're lonely. It means you're comfortable with your own presence. Try going for a walk alone, listening to music, or watching the sunset quietly. In those moments, you'll realize you are enough, even without constant noise or validation. You can find peace inside yourself. Be honest, but kind. A strong relationship with yourself needs honesty. It's okay to admit when you're wrong or when something isn't working. But remember, honesty doesn't have to be cruel. Say, "I made a mistake, but I can grow from this," instead of, I'm such a failure. The truth spoken with kindness helps you grow. The truth spoken with judgment only builds walls. Allow yourself to grow and change. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago or even 1 year ago, and that's a good thing. Growth means life. Let yourself evolve. Let your opinions, dreams, and habits change as you do. Don't hold on to the idea of who you used to be. You deserve to meet the person you're becoming. Building a strong relationship with yourself isn't about perfection. It's about connection. Gentle, steady, real. When you start treating yourself with respect, something magical happens. You stop chasing love in the wrong places because you've already found it within. So tonight, before you go to sleep, place your hand over your heart and whisper, "I'm here for you, always." That's what true self-love sounds like. There comes a quiet moment when something inside you shifts. You stop chasing, stop fighting, stop trying to prove your worth to everyone. That's when you realize you've started to love yourself, not in a loud, dramatic way, but in a soft, peaceful way, like a gentle sunrise slowly warming your skin. Loving yourself doesn't mean you wake up happy every day. It doesn't mean life suddenly becomes easy. It simply means you've made peace with who you are. You no longer compare your life to others. You look at people who succeed, and instead of jealousy, you feel inspired because you know their light doesn't dim yours. You've found your own glow, your own rhythm, your own path. You stop begging for love because you've built it inside. You stop apologizing for existing because you know you belong here, just as you are. When you finally love yourself, you start choosing peace over drama. You choose rest instead of guilt. You say no to things that hurt you, not because you're cold, but because you've learned that protecting your heart is sacred. You speak up with kindness, but also with courage. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You begin to understand that loving yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. Because when you love yourself, you stop pouring from an empty cup. You give from fullness, not from fear. And something else happens. You attract people who respect that peace. Your energy changes. It becomes calmer, clearer. You stop chasing people who only love you halfway. Instead, you connect with those who see you, who value your softness and your strength. You become the kind of person who can sit alone in a quiet room and still feel whole. Not lonely, just whole. And maybe the most beautiful part, you start to forgive more easily. You forgive others not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. You forgive yourself too for all the times you didn't know better, for all the times you stayed too long or spoke too harshly to your own reflection. Because now you know you were always trying your best with the light you had, and that's enough. When you finally love yourself, The world doesn't change overnight, but the way you see it does. You notice beauty in small things, the morning light through the window, the sound of rain, the laughter of a stranger. You stop rushing. You start living. You start being. And one day, you'll look back and smile. You'll realize that the love you were searching for all this time was never lost. It was always inside you, waiting for you to come home. So, if no one has told you this lately, you are loved. You are enough. You are becoming everything you were meant to be. Thank you, truly, for spending this hour with me, for opening your heart, for allowing these words to sit with you. This is Study with Daisy, and I'm so proud of you for being here, for choosing healing, for choosing you. Until next time, take care of your heart, speak kindly to your soul, and remember, the most beautiful relationship you'll ever build is the one you have with yourself.